I get this this YouTube up and running. Get everybody online in here. Go ahead and ask your question now.
So my question is, in the book of Matthew, chapter 8, verse 12. I just want to know what does Yahushua mean in verse 12? Like, how do I break that down?
Chapter 8, verse 12. Let me get there, and then we'll go ahead and get it, all right? Any specific part of it you don't, or just the whole verse you don't understand what he means?
So like I said, I just don't understand verse 12.
No, that's what I'm asking. Just the whole verse, or any one word or two words that's throwing you off?
It's the whole verse that's throwing me off.
Okay. All right. I'll see if I can't get it for you then. Anybody else got any questions? Go ahead.
Sir, I do have a question.
Okay.
And
go ahead.
Joel chapter 3, sir.
Okay, what's the question?
I know was this prophecy that we was going into slavery, and could you use it for like today? Well, not like today's like when we was like on those coming from wherever and had to come into sold us for wine and stuff, and guns and silver and gold.
Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and get the yours, and then we're gonna go to the offices because I might have to go a little bit in on the offices. Anybody else got any questions? Go ahead and read Joel for me.
Kind of with concert. You want me to start from first, or you want me to go like where I was talking about?
What verse was it that you was asking about?
Verse 3.
Yeah, go ahead and start from verse 1. Tell everybody where you at.
Kind of with concert. Joel chapter 3, verse 1. For behold, in those days and at that time, when I shall bring again the captivity in Jerusalem, I will also gather all nations, and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat. Jehoshaphat.
Yeah, this is Joel 3. Go ahead, Jehoshaphat.
I will plead with them. Therefore, my people and for my heritage, Israel, whom they have gathered among the nations, departed my land, and they have cast lots and have given for a harlot and sold a girl for wine that they might drink.
Okay. All right. So the question was, is this hold on one second. The question was, is this talking about us coming over on slave ships and going into slavery under the white man? Is that correct? That's what the question was? All right. This is talking about this is a prophecy that has not happened yet. This is talking about the coming world war where the Lord is going to plead for Israel and other nations. Let's say, behold, in those days and at that time, when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem. So this is the time that we living in. It's talking about right now. Now maybe it started then, right? But it's still going on. This everything that's supposed to have happened has not happened yet. Now, at the same time, a lot of things in the Bible, there are certain instances where, for instance, we've been in multiple captivities. So you could say that it already happened, but this is talking about when we're going to gather all the nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. Somebody look up Jehoshaphat. I believe it's in the Middle East. Zondervan Bible Dictionary, it should be in there. All right. Let's go ahead and get Jehoshaphat.
Like it, sir.
Go ahead.
Isn't it Jehoshaphat in Arabia?
Khan. Go ahead.
Jehoshaphat, Zondervan Bible Dictionary. Priest who blew the trumpet before the ark of the Most High in David's time. Son of Ahad, son of Harua, appointed by Solomon as officer of the commissary over the tribe of Issachar, fourth king of Judah, and successor of king of the south, reigned 25 years. Basis and taught people law of the Most High, for joint enterprises with Ahab and Africa.
All right, 1 second. This is kind of long. Where it talks about Jehoshaphat, who is the person, right? And if you skip down, you see it. He made the great and almost fatal mistake.
Under it says Jehoshaphat, Valley of.
Valley of, yeah. Nah, and I got the Zondervan. I don't have the compact. I got the regular Zondervans. It says, because of Jehoshaphat's godliness, the fear of the Lord fell on the surrounding nations, and even the Philistines and the Arabs brought him tribute. All right, so this was a man in the Bible who had great stature, who was up under he was the successor. He was also over the tribe of Issachar, things like that. Now they named this the Valley of Jehoshaphat, and the brother's gonna go ahead and read. Go ahead and read that one.
Valley of Jehoshaphat, chapter 3, verse 2 and 12, as the thing where all nations shall be gathered by the Most High for judgment.
Where all nations shall be gathered together by the Most High for judgment. And we know that as that scene is going to take place, is going to be in the Middle East. When they ramp up and start World War III, that scene is going to start, and all of those nations are going to be judged right there in that. They do have a breakdown where they specifically tell you where this is at. For the most, I just understand it as being in the Middle East. This is talking about the coming world war that is going to exact Egypt. And our downfall to fight against each other, and that's going to be judgment. They go out. And the reason for this is what he's talking about in verse 3 when you ask. The reason why is because they have scattered us into all these different nations and parted the land of Israel and casted lots for his people and gave a boy for a harlot. So when you start talking about, you know, the Roman Catholic Church, and you start talking about the Christian church and different places where they're molesting children, and they're paying for you to marry men and different things like that, and women to marry women, and doing all kind of things against the Lord. Well, this is what he's saying, that he is going to judge these nations. That's the reason why. All right, you got it, or you need more on it?
To watch, sir. Thank you.
All right, no sweat, no sign crack. Let's go back to Matthew, where the brother had a question at. Trooper Yamayan, if you could pull up the YouTube. I don't think there's nobody in there. Because I ain't even shared the link yet. But if it is, somebody come in there, just let me know if they ask any questions, all right? All right. Matthew chapter 12. What was the verse that you was asking about, bro? 12.
Matthew 8 and 12.
Right,
I just need a precept for it.
You was in class yesterday?
Sir.
All right. All right, so go ahead and go to verse 5.
Matthew 8 and 5. And when Yahushua entered into
Capernaum.
There came unto him a centurion beseeching him, and saying, Lord, my servant lieth at home sick of palsy, grievously tormented. And Yahushua said unto him, I will come and heal him. The centurion answered and said, Lord, I am not worthy that thou shouldest come under my roof, but speak the word only, and my servant shall be healed. So
this brother knew he probably had all kinds of things that was against the Lord, maybe at his house, or it doesn't really say anything in detail about this, so all we can do is speculate. But the brother wanted him to come and heal him, right? He said his servant was sick, and he had the palsy. He was grievously tormented. I mean, his brother's going through it, and he wanted Yahushua to heal him. He seen the miracles he did, and he asked, and Yahushua was like, "Okay, I'll go ahead," because if you knew anything about Yahushua, the people who had the faith that he could heal them, those was the people that end up being healed. And because his brother knew that he would have the power to heal him, he was going to do it. But he said, I'm not worthy for you to even come to my house. You ain't even got to step under my roof. But all you have to do is speak the word, and he'll be healed. Go to verse 9.
For I am a man under authority, having soldiers under me. And I say to this man, go, and he goeth, and to another, come, and he cometh, and to my servant, do this, and he doeth it. When Yahushua heard it, he marveled, and said to this, verily I say unto you, I have not found so great faith, no, not in Israel.
Stop right there. So here's the thing, right? When Yahushua was sending those men out, and they was performing these miracles, and they was teaching, and they was waking brothers up, a lot of people did not understand what was going on. There was a changing of the guard. There was something that the Lord was doing in Israel. So a lot of people, therefore, did not believed that Yahushua was the Son of the Most High, and he was doing this by the will of the Most High. So therefore, a lot of people did not like. Remember, if you had the Pharisees who was saying to Yahushua, he cast out demons in the name of Beelzebub, or however you pronounce that, basically saying that he's performing these miracles through work of the devil, through the work of sin, and not the Most High. So there was a lot of Israelites, especially the Pharisees, who was over Israel at the time up under the Romans, who would not listen to what was going on or would not follow what was going on with Yahushua. Now, if you notice, Officer Sharatazah, what nation was the Pharisees from?
Like I said, the Pharisees, what nation?
Yes, what nation of people were the Pharisees?
They were Israelites, weren't they?
They were Israelites, right? And who Christ ended up debating, arguing, going at, cutting the most was the Pharisees. You understand that, right? It's no different than us right now. Like, we love blacks, Hispanics, Indians, but our biggest fight is the Christian church. It's our own people. Because if we don't drop the traditions of men and come back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, then we'll end up destroying ourselves. That's what happened to us in Canaan. So it's Israel that got us to be in the captivity, and therefore his fight was get Israelites to understand what the Most High was trying to do. You understand that, right? Now remember there on the breakdown you had Israel that was actually living in Israel, who was certainly keeping the commandments, who was circumcised on the 8th day. You had all of these, and then you had other brothers, like say if you had a brother now that would be in the United States military or something like that. Well, this is a centurion, meaning that he works for another government. And he's so he has men under him. Yet when he seen what Yahushua was doing, he believed on him to be able to heal his servant. You understand that, right? Okay, so what happened is, being that he had all these men that would go and do whatever he say, like he said, authority, having soldiers under you. I say to this man, go, and he goeth, and to another come, and he cometh. And to my servant, do this. He humble enough. It's somebody that nobody really did follow these 12 men. You understand that, right? So Christ, when he heard it, he marked. He's like, this is not, most of the people, I don't know if you remember the when he was talking about go and get the sick and the maimed and all of that and bring them, right? I think General Mahane was breaking that down. Like, because those people who were in authority wanted to keep their authority. They wouldn't be caught dealing with Yahushua because they really, in essence, thought he was there to overthrow the Roman government. But this brother was willing to give all of that up to have a peace Yahushua was bringing. You understand that, right? So here this brother is for lack of a better way to explain it, in the U.S. military now, right? Willing to give it all up for the truth. And Yahushua is surprised because all in Israel, where they had everything, where the Romans was ruling, to follow them, they didn't have faith in Yahushua. So he's saying, I done been around a lot of these brothers. I done been all through Israel, and I have not found anybody with this type of faith. You understand that, right? All right, go to verse 11.
And I say unto you that many shall come from the east and west, and shall sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. But the children of the kingdom shall be cast out into utter darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
Okay. He said, and I say to you that many come with and Jacob. How are they going to sit down with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom if Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob already was already dead at this time? Well, what was that, Sharatazar?
I think I see what's going on here. This is in the this is in the kingdom when we're in rulership. But I accept to I've heard this before somewhere else in the Bible.
You've heard what?
Where it says shall sit down with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven. That sounds familiar.
Mm-hmm. I'm not exactly sure where that is. I don't know of a precept for that. I don't know what you're talking about. You understand what's going on? What he's talking about? He's talking about the kingdom of the Most High and Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob there, right?
Right.
But here's the point. Everybody ain't going to be able to sit with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom. You understand what I'm saying? Or no? Everybody ain't gonna be able to sit with Abraham, Isaac, and everybody ain't gonna be able to sit with Yahushua in the kingdom. Somebody tell me how many people gonna get to rule and reign with Christ in the kingdom. Go ahead. It's 144,000, and that's once we get in the kingdom. Now, what he was talking about is we actually gonna get the kingdom and we're gonna sit there. But before that, Joel chapter 3, what we just read, has to happen, right? All right, and Zechariah 13 and 8 has to happen. Go to Zechariah 13 and 8, and then we're gonna come back here so you can get it.
Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in the land that the Lord friends off and die, but the third shall be left therein.
Read it again.
And it shall come to pass that the Lord and shall be all, but the third therein.
All right, and also remember what the brother just brought up in Joel about he gonna bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. Christ said that in Revelation that brothers is going to end up right there with the other nations because they don't have the Most High. They follow the Most High. They don't want to turn their ways and do what the Most High is saying. So this is what he's talking about. Right? You 8 and 12. Remember, the Most High would, if it was hit, the Most High would have none of Israel will be destroyed. Christ came that all of Israel saved. Is that going to happen? Yes, it's going to happen, but still have to die. Other nations because they refuse to leave the world that they love. Hope I'm saying so you can get it.
I'm standing now.
All right, read verse 11 and 12.
And I say unto you that many shall come from the east and west, and shall sit down. But the children shall be cast out into utter darkness. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth.
So this is what happened, and this is happening, and this is what happened on one. The Lord who should be receiving the kingdom and who should be sitting down with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom are going to have to die the death that the heathens are going to have to die. They're going to pay the same way that the white man paid. All of these modern day Pharisees, all of these brothers who's teaching other doctrines aside from what the Bible says, who's going on everybody but their own people, who can't understand brotherhood, who can't understand, that the law is not the way, cannot understand it and love what they more than they love the Most High. These are the children of the kingdom. The Lord is for. He made the world for our sakes, is what the scriptures say, right? But in that same scripture, he's like, well, how long will these people be lords over us? How long we got to be in outer darkness and cast out of the land of Israel while this fake Jews are over there, the Jewish man, intending to be us, the land the Lord had for us? How long we got to be weeping and gnashing our teeth and going and all of this other stuff? But this Christ saying that this is the same thing that's happening now. Like the Lord's kingdom was at hand since the time Christ came. But here we are 2,000 years ago, still trying to get brothers on board, stop what they're doing, to turn away from the gods of the other nations and come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. Therefore, we weeping, we in outer dark, Lord out. He turned his face from us. Well, had we had the that in Israel at the time was not paying Christ any attention. Commander Yohanan brought it out anyway. That's how they got overtaken in 70 AD. It was the brothers who had already left and went out to spread the gospel in other places. You know what I mean? Like when Paul was raising up all these churches, these was outside of Israel where they was raising up these churches to keep the laws, the statutes, the records that we go by today, because they was throwing them in the fire in Israel in 70 AD. So this was talking about all of that was going to happen, but it was already, and we had already been through it, and we went through it time and time again. Now the children of the kingdom are cast out of the land, and they're going through hell, and is weeping and gnashing of teeth. But he was saying that this centurion who worked for a whole nother government, who was high ranking, still already knew that he was the son of the Most High and willing to humble himself in order to ask him to heal his servant. You still got a question on it, or is it clear?
No, I don't want. It's clear now. The water for that.
No sweat. Anybody else got any questions? Nobody got any questions? All right. Give me Hebrews chapter 2. Chapter 2. And chapter 5. and verse 12. Somebody get that and hold it. Let me check something real quick. Hebrews 5 and 12 is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, back in 1969. We are under Commanding General Yohana, and we're not affiliated with any other like group, any other black power organization, so-called follower of Christ. If it's not of the ISUPK under Commanding General Yohana, it's not of the Lord. All right, so this is the Monday night Israelite 101 class where we break down the basics of the scriptures. Make sure you understand completely what it is we teach here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge so that you can make a choice. See, life is all about choices. A lot of people will try to have some Israelite groups where I don't know what's going on, but if somebody got something going on, they might want to go ahead and mute their phone. Everybody make sure your phone on mute. So you can make a choice about what you believe, what we teach or not. Some Israelite groups, a lot of people don't know this. Come in there, it's just like the Masons. They'll let you come in there and they'll never tell you really what you following, who you worshiping, what you're supposed to do. So you guessing. You think you want to be down. You think you made up already, committed yourself to this, and you find out, wait a minute, this is not what I thought it was. Well, we don't want that in the ISUPK. We want a man to fully understand what it is we teach, and we go by this Bible, these scriptures. It ain't about our feelings. It ain't about what we think about it. It ain't about, whether or not we cool with it or not. It's all about what the Lord said and what the men that came before us laid down. And that's what we teach here, all right? So go ahead and give me on Hebrews 5 and 12, whoever got it.
Hebrews chapter 5, verse 12. And when for the time you ought to be teachers, you have need that teach you.
See, this is what
be the first principle of the order of the power.
Keep going.
And are become such as I have need of milk and not of strong meat.
So this is Paul talking to the brothers who knew the Hebrews, but they wasn't living in the land. They wasn't circumcised on the 8th day, but they were trying to keep it. He was breaking them down in this letter, right? And he said that in a time when we ought to be, and that's where we at now, we should be out teaching our people. We should be showing our people how to get off dope and how to do will of the Lord, and teaching our women how to not be whores and how to raise the babies and keep stuff the way Sarah and all the women that was in the Bible about. We should have stories like that about our wives, and we should be mighty men of the Lord like King David and the brothers that we looked up to who did what the Lord said and pleased the Lord. This is the things we're supposed to be teaching. The problem is, I think we've been taught the people who learn in theology from our oppressors, from the people that hate us, from the people that stole our identity, for the people who they know who the Lord is, and we've learned from them instead of learning from the Bible. So now it's the time we ought to be teachers. We have a need that want to teach us again. And see, everybody want to be deep, and everybody always got that they want to bring out and be profound. When Christ said you have to come as one of these babes, or else you ain't gonna never get. You need to learn the first principles of the oracles of God. Like the law is not done away with. That blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians are the chosen people of God. Like, what's the true language spoke? What did we do back? How did we live? What was our customs? Were we monogamous? Were we the ones that was smoking weed? Was that us? Is that us? Is that our custom? The main thing we need to learn is the basics of what, and that's what this class is all about. We become such that have need of milk. Ones that you hear time and time again in the school, and we make sure we break every last one of them down and find the lines and the precepts that go along with it, and not strong meat. So, me, you might have heard some of the things that we go over in this class a million times, but the point is to make it stick and to be able to apply it to your life so that you can change your life and become a man that the Lord wanted you to be. Everybody understand that, right? All right. So with that, let's go ahead and get into a topic that y'all want to talk about today. We got a couple of things in mind. Anybody need some freshening up on some scriptures in a certain particular topic? Definitely do that. Go ahead.
There are no questions as of yet, but we do have a check-in to one, so she's the trooper Mashamar.
She said what?
She said the real trooper Mashamar. She's checking in.
Oh, no sweat. Yeah, I don't necessarily need some to the school or something like that. They need information. Just give them Officer Shawar's number. Just give me the the questions that come offline. All right. All right. So the brother wants it good. Let's go to John 3:16. Basics of what we talk about here in the school. John 3:16 is a big one. I don't know if I got to it a couple of weeks ago, but it's one of these classes, the Israelite one-on-one classes on YouTube from a couple of weeks ago, where we was where the question was, is salvation for everybody? That was the name of the class. If you want to go look it up, it's on ISUPK Florida School on YouTube. It's salvation for everybody. I'm pretty sure most of y'all brothers was in that class, and we got finished with it. And I was listening to Boot Up or Shut Up radio last night. They had what they do is they got a radio show on a Christian radio station out in Texas, I believe it is, if I'm not mistaken. And they usually have pastors and apostles and bishops and all these people come on there, and they have points. And the last night it was about is salvation for everybody. And the brother gave two scriptures. One of them was John 1:12, which is a scripture that we go through a lot in this class, and John 3:16. And once he gave those, he kind of was like he had that book, like he got it. Like, there you go, you can't get around them no kind of way. You know what I'm saying? That's how the little preacher dude was talking. He's like, you can't get around these two no kind of way. So what we'll do is we're gonna break that down real quick for the brother. Let's go ahead and get it. John 3:16. Somebody got it?
Oh God.
It's a keynote staple. Believe the same thing when it comes to this verse, that this proves that Christ came for everybody, and that everybody in the whole entire world was to be saved. And this is one that they use time and time again in order to do it. All right, so let's go on and break it down. Go ahead. Whoever got it, read.
3:16. For the power so loved the world.
Just for the sake of the people who might look at this video later, who might not be in the classes. Go ahead and read it exactly how you see it right this minute.
Oh God. John chapter 3:16. For God loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
All right. So around about this time, you know, you hear the tambourines going off. You know what I'm saying? The drums start playing. People start shouting and slobbing out and everything. For God so loved the world. You can't get around that. How you going to say salvation ain't for everybody when it say right there, for God so loved the world? And it also says whosoever, everybody. This is the breakdown that the Christian gives, right? All right. So what your job is as a priest and officer in the ISUPK is to make sure that people understand the words that they read, because nobody does. Most people, they only going by what they think it means, and they have never heard anything else that is able to translate or break down a proper breakdown what John 3:16 is talking about. But this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it the opposite way of the way we normally do it. I'm gonna tell you what it's saying, and then I'm gonna give you the proof. All right. John 3:16 is saying, for God so loved the world, for the most so loved the world, he gave, meaning he sent his only begotten Son, who is Yahushua, ignorantly called Jesus Christ by the world. His only begotten Son, that whosoever, the whosoever is those people that he came for, who believeth in him. So out of those people who he came for, who believeth in him, shall have eternal life. That life is talking about the blessings that come along with following, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Or do it say shall not perish? Whosoever believing in him. Read it again.
Son of God. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Shall not perish meaning to fall up under the curses that come along with not following it, but have everlasting life, meaning the kingdom of heaven, meaning the blessings and the riches that come along with it. Now, it's a bold statement. What I just did was I took two words that's in there that a Christian will feel like box you in to where you got to say it's everybody, which is world and whosoever, right? And told you who that world was, meaning the people that Christ came for, right? And who did Christ come for? Everybody in this class should know that. Who Christ came for, Officer in the shop?
Oh God, he came for Israel.
He came for Israel. We can find that in 21. We can find that in John 4:22. We can find that in Jeremiah 31:31. Salvation was only for Israel. All right. So we're not going to go through all of that because that's the one where we was breaking down where salvation was not for everybody. So what we really got to do is break down the two words in here and say that it's not talking about everybody. So in order to do that, we go to Psalms chapter 90 first. Let's get that. Psalms chapter 90. First thing we'll do is go to the Zondervan Bible Dictionary and look up the word world, because everything that's in the reason why we go to the Bible dictionary is because a lot of the words we use today, for instance, like virgin. Virgin today in the regular dictionary means anybody who has not had sex. If you look at the Bible dictionary, at that point in time, that word was used synonymously with a woman who was of marriageable age. Same thing, adultery. Anybody who has sex out that they're married to. But in the Bible, is a man who sleeps with another man's wife, or a woman who sleeps with somebody other than her husband. So that's why you go to the Bible dictionary and it breaks it down. So let's get the definition for the word world. Whoever got it.
Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, page 609. World. Universe. John chapter 1 verse 10. Human race.
What's that word? Human race. Go ahead. Keep going. That's it.
No, there's a third definition here. Ungenerated humanity.
All right, that's all. I got the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. The compact has been made so that you can so that you'll be able to have stuff that's quick you can go to. And the one that I have, the Zondervan Bible Dictionary, says the word world can mean age. Can mean age. It gives Matthew 13 and 22, Mark 10 and 30, and a whole bunch of other ones. Another one says the inhabited earth. Another one says the Hellenistic world, found in the Acts. Another definition, the Roman Empire, Luke 2, Acts 11, a fallen universe, hostile to the Most High. That's the underworld and all of that different stuff. Human history, the human race, and the universe. All right. So it's a lot of different words, but it basically boils down to, if you look, I think we went over this in the regular website. When you get to about the 7th or 8th definition down, it talks about age, society, group of people, group. I forgot the other word that it used, but it breaks down to a group of people with similar background or similar something, like meaning they stay in the same place or they live the same way or similar customs. I really want to go get exactly. I think somebody can go ahead and get it. It's probably like the 5th or 6th one, but it's like age or society, group of people, etc., etc. But that's what it says in the Zondervan. The first thing it says in the Zondervan is the world can mean age, the inhabited earth, the Roman Empire. Go ahead.
I got Webster's dictionary.
Is that in there about? Because I don't know if it was Webster's. I might have to look it up.
The 8th definition of Webster is human society.
Human society, is it one?
From the world.
It's called, it says human society. So a society, age. You see that? So the word world means society, and there are different worlds, and we'll break that down. I just wanted to get the definition according to Bible. Now give me Psalms 92.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 90, verse. This is 90, verse 2. Before the mountains were brought forth, or formed the earth in the world, this everlasting to everlasting, thou art God.
All right. So this is in Psalms where it's breaking it down. The problem is with the breakdown that the Christians have, they believe that the world means everybody on the planet Earth, when it can mean an age or society. There are different worlds, right? And the world does not mean the entire earth. That's what it's saying right here. Before the mountains were brought forth, and ever thou hast formed the earth and the world, mean all of the worlds, but this one was specifically talking about a world, a society, a group of people. Meaning this is separate. There's an earth, meaning everybody, and then there's this particular world. Everybody see it, right? Even from everlasting to everlasting, the Most High, or the power. When you dealing with people who believe something for so long, that wouldn't be enough. They'll say, well, you got the definition. It say right there the whole universe. Go ahead.
I didn't have the scripture. I have another definition of world, if that one.
Go ahead. Let me get it. Go ahead and get it while the brother's grabbing the scripture.
World in a manner amongst allegiance is narrative, a state of existence, a distinctive class or person or their sphere of interest, part or section of the earth or its inhabitants.
Wait a minute. What? A part or section what?
Of the earth.
Entire earth? It say, read that part again.
A part or section of the earth.
A part or section of the earth. That's the definition. What happened is people don't know how to read things in context, so they automatically means whatever they think it means. And that's why we do this right here on Monday night. We take our time and go over these scriptures and find the definition and look for the precept and look for the line that says this, and where you can fully understand the scriptures. It's talking about a part or a section of the earth or a group of people or age or society. And that world that it's talking about is Israel. Go ahead and give me the Hebrews 11:3, whoever got it.
Hebrews 11:3. Through faith, we understand that the world were framed by the word of God.
Through faith, we understand that the world was framed by the word of God. Here we are again, understanding that there are different worlds. There's more than one. Is it talking about the earth and Mars and Venus and Uranus and all these different places when it's saying that? Is it talking about just one world when it's saying the earth? The earth, it would have said the world or the earth was framed, but it said world. Can you spell that for me?
WORLDS.
That S at the end insinuates that there is more than one world. And how we break this down in the school is all of the times where you've heard world. You got Disney World, you got Sea World. You had a show called Different World, meaning because when she went to college, it wasn't the same world she grew up in on the Cosby Show. Right?
Right.
You got a brother who out in the streets, they be like, yo, he out there in that world. World. Yo, them Christians, they out there in that Christian world. They world don't look like mine. The white man's world. White man's world don't look like our world, right? It's more than one world. So what world did the Most High love? This is what we're talking about. Let's keep going. 1 John 2:15. Let's get it.
I like it.
Go ahead.
1 John chapter 2, verse 15. Love not the world.
Love not the world. Wait, stop. Wait, hold on. We breaking down John 3:16, where it said the Most High God loved the world. So how it's going to say in the Bible? Read it again. I think you got it wrong, God.
Verse 15. Love not neither the things that are in the world.
This is the same world that it was John 16 that the Lord loved. We say love not the world. Apparently, this is two different worlds. Remember, we just read that there were different worlds with an S at the end, and the world didn't.
If any man loves the love of the Father is not in him.
If any man love the world love of the Father is not in him. Now, in the ISUPK, what we practice doing is loving what the Lord loves and hating what the Lord hates, right? So if the Lord, and it tells us, love not the world, and if we do love the world, then the love of the Father ain't in us. Don't we got a problem? Ain't that confusion? Well, the Lord is not the author of confusion. He's specific about what he's talking about, right? And he said it all the way back in the Old Testament. The problem with Christianity is they only read half the book. They don't even understand why Matthew 1:1 starts out with Christ's lineage from Abraham all the way to King David, from King David all the way to Christ, and why Matthew 1:21 said he's going to save his people, and why Christ said, I only came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel, because it was one group of people that the Lord loves on the planet. There was one group of people that could sin on the planet, and one group of people that broke the Lord's laws and needed salvation and redemption. Who is that group of people? Let's get Isaiah 45:17. These were the people that the Lord was trying to save. This is the world. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 45:17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord.
Everybody on the earth shall be saved.
But Israel shall be saved in the Lord.
It says Israel shall be saved. The whole world and the whole planet gonna be Chinese people, white people. What it say?
But Israel saved in the Lord.
That's doing like Africans and Arabs too, right?
But Israel shall be saved.
But Israel shall be saved. This is the world that it was talking about when it said God so loved the world. It said, you only have I known out of all the nations on the planet Earth. David said he have not dealt so with any nation. His only begotten. Right? Israel is going to be saved. That's who salvation is for. That's who it's talking about when it said the Lord loved the world. For the world was created for our sake. Still don't believe it. Keep reading out. What's the everlasting salvation? Is Christ reigning and ruling over the earth forever, and all the other nations being what they were supposed to be from the beginning. Go ahead. Not ruling and reigning with Christ, not being a part of the 144,000, but serving the Lord's people. The older nation shall serve the younger. Go ahead. Keep going.
It shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end.
This shall not be ashamed nor confounded. What?
World.
Going to not be ashamed or confounded. A world without end. This is the world that the Lord loved. The only world that it was talking about, that he sent his only begotten son to save. So that's the breakdown. Whoever. All right. Here it is. If I'm talking to everybody in this class and I say, any one of y'all in here can answer the question, I'll give y'all $10. If I say any one of y'all on here can answer the next question, I'll give y'all $50. Who does that apply to? If I say whosoever can answer this question, I'll give $20. Who does that apply to? Go ahead.
The people in the class.
The people on the phone, the people in the class. I'm saying whosoever, but it don't apply to everybody. It don't to the people who ain't come to class. It only applies to the people that I'm talking to. So when he's talking to Nicodemus, if I'm not mistaken, who was an Israelite. Into Israel. So when it says whosoever, it's not somebody that can, it's saying everybody that the Lord came to save. If you read the verse, I believe it was 11:15, he said he came unto his own and his own received them not, meaning he came to Israel and Israel did not. But whoever did receive them, but those people who did, gave he the power to become the sons of God. Those people out of Israel who accepted what was going on, those who had the power to become the God. Let's go ahead and take that to Acts 21. This real simple. It's basic English. It's basic comprehension. The problem is nobody take the time to find out what it's talking about. We just automatically assume that the slave masters who used to send there and tell the preachers what to say, that they do it. The only nation who has no covenant with the Most High, was promises from the Most High, would try to latch on to somebody else's salvation and somebody else's covenant and somebody else being redeemed. Think about that for a minute. Go ahead and read it. Acts 2 and 21.
Acts chapter 2. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved.
There you go. You can stop right there. Y'all, let's get the shouting, man. Break out the drums. The organ playing loud. They shouting again. Well, who's calling that? First of all, let's straighten this out. If you just calling on the name of the Most High and ain't doing it, if you just calling on the name of the Most High, ain't following nothing he taught, you automatically excluded. So let's cut that. But whoever, everybody, who was he talking to? It said, whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved, right? But he was talking to a specific group of people. Whoever he was talking to, the whoever on the phone, if you will, the whosoever that was in the class, if you will, the whosoever, the first covenant that decides to call on the name of it and to come back into the new covenant. Who was those people? Keep reading.
God, ye men of Israel.
Everybody.
Israel.
Ye Israel, do what?
Hear these words.
You can keep reading the rest of it. He wasn't talking to everybody when he said whosoever. He was talking to ye men of Israel, and he told them to hear these words. Keep going. Go ahead and finish out the verse just for.
God. Ye men of Israel, hear these words. Jesus of Nazareth, a man approved of God among you by miracles and wonders and signs, which God did by him in the midst of you, as yourselves also know.
So he's talking about Yahushua and the things that he did, but he's only talking to the men of Israel, and these are the ones that he wanted to hear. That is the whosoever that it was talking about. All right, you clear on that in the shop? All right. Anybody else had any questions? Anything that they wanted to to brush up on that you done heard breakdown, but it was something that still wasn't clear to you. You wanted it broke down again or something like that. All right. Today, what we was going to go into, and we got a little bit of time, we'll get into it a little bit, was fighting, basically dealing with the demons that you have, that's, I guess, within you. Because what happens is when you make a decision to come into the truth, then it only has a couple of different ways he can deal with you. And all of them are through your carnal lust, your desires, and your pride. Down a while back, it's just like LLC. So let's go ahead and get that real quick to understand what I'm talking about. In other words, once you know that the truth and the man are not, this is the reason Israel failed and all of this other stuff. Now you say, okay, I'm in the truth. I'm coming to class. I'm learning the Bible. I'm learning the proper way a man's supposed to be. I'm about with the love, shrimp scampi, and all you can eat, and all of this other stuff. Say I love, pork chops or ribs or whatever the case may be. Even though I know I love this, I'm not going to do it. Is you giving in your lust? Is you going back to that old man? Right? I always tell people like smoke them little for about 20 years, right? I ain't smoked in about 3 or 4 years now. And still and all, every time you smell it, you have a desire or a lust or something like that. You might, like white women, whatever your thing is. Everybody more hard people, was doing whatever they was doing. Some people like rob niggas. I don't know, just for the thrill, whatever the case may be, whatever you dealing with. It's only your lust and your desire to do the things that's against the Lord, and you not be is the only way Satan can deal with you once you come into the truth. Everybody understand that, right? All right. So let's go back to 1 John 2, where we was just at 15. First, I'm gonna read the first one because we already wrote it and break. Love not in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. Now, well, since we already then came to the conclusion that he was talking about the world of Israel, that the Lord, is he talking about that he don't love, that you should not love? Right. Go ahead.
It would be
the white man world. Not only that, what else? You own it, but it's to it.
So it would be any world that goes any world outside of the world of Israel.
And that's all the other nations. Precept. Go ahead.
We use Deuteronomy 27:1.
That ain't the one I'm looking for. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy 7:6.
That ain't the one I'm looking for. Let me re-ask the question. Maybe I asked the question wrong. When it said, love not the world, neither the things in the world. If you love the world, then the love of the Father is not in you. When he's talking about that, ask what world he's talking about. Now, that's the world of the other nations. The other people that are in, that's not the world of Israel, right? Our law, statutes, rulership, give us the things that are found in Deuteronomy 7 and 6, the things that are found in Deuteronomy 27 and 1. Those things, that's life, right? The things that lead to death is the stuff that the other nations did. And I was asking for the precept for that. For the sake of time, let's go ahead and get it. It's Jeremiah 10, verse 2. Somebody go for me.
Jeremiah chapter 10. Thus saith the Most High. Now, hear ye the word which the Most High to you.
He's talking to everybody, right? He's talking to everybody. Hear ye the word that the Most High is speaking to you, O house of Israel. That's the word he's talking to. Now, what is he saying to him? Go ahead.
Thus saith the Most High. Learn not the way of the heathen.
Learn not the way of the heathen. And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. This is the point. Don't do what everybody else do. I heard Captain Katazai say this about a year ago, and I like to bring it up from time to time. If you see what the white man is doing and you just do the opposite, you'll be keeping majority of the laws that's in the Bible. Whatever he doing and you do the opposite, you'll be keeping majority. Oh, he like his rare. He called pork the other white meat. You look at it like it's an abomination. He want to have threesomes. You deal with your wife and don't deal with whores. Everybody follow me, right? Read that first part of verse number 3. There's just the first part to the colon.
For the customs of the people are vain.
For the customs of the other people are vain. The heathens' customs are vain. Learn not their ways. And see, that's the problem with us. We like doing what the white man done taught us to do. You have all these girls and they go with women, all of this. Oh, it's just college. Brothers be out like trying to sleep with everything that's moving. It don't matter if she just went other men, women, whatever. It don't matter. Men sleeping with men. All of these are the customs of the other nations, and they don't mean nothing, and they don't please the Lord. Now, you gaining a lust for these customs, for loving them. No different than when you're trying to come out of the world and Thanksgiving come up or Christmas come up. And every Christmas you've been chilling with your people. You go get you a bottle. You go get you some weed. You go get you whatever you do, and you chill with your family and you eat, get high, eat all the turkey you want, and sit around and y'all go out that night, go deal with, you know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be. These are all customs and the way that other people are supposed to live. How supposed to live. We are supposed to learn not the ways of the heathen. Now, once you learn them and you realize that this is fun, this feels good, I like this. Now, this is how Satan deals with you. You understand? If you ever tasted a ham sandwich, you don't know what you missing. You ain't what they say. You ain't never miss what you never had. If you wasn't having all type of disgusting acts that was taught to us by these other nations, then you never know. You wasn't never going to the Chinese spot getting the soy sauce fried dog or whatever it is. You wouldn't know it tastes good. Y'all follow me? So now once you started doing this, now you have a lust and a desire that you have to deal with. Let's go back to John. What was it? 1 John. Let's get the second part of that. 2 and 16. Somebody read it. 1 John 2 and 16.
First John chapter 2, verse 16. for all that is in the world. The lust of flesh, the lust of the eye, and the pride of life.
These are the things
of the Father.
There you go. These are the things that you're going to have to learn to fight if you're in the truth. The lust of the flesh, meaning it, or you did it and you liked it and you enjoyed it, but it is an abomination to the Lord. Nobody don't want to talk about this, but there's some brothers in here, some sisters in here that had demon and homosexuality on them. It's people that deal with all kinds of stuff. Zarya does it every, I think it's the first month station. And you be people come on there and they say, well, I did this, or I was molested and I grew up and I molested people. People dealing with all kind of lust and desire. Even in their mind, they know it ain't right, but they can't overcome that desire that they flesh have, that lust that they flesh have. Then you got the lust of the eyes. You want to be LeBron James. You want to be Ricky Rose. You seen something they got this kind of car. So you willing to sell down, you willing to rob your own people, you willing to murder whoever you got to murder, get to that point. You ain't never had it before, but they talk about it. You see Scarface with a big ass pile of Salakia for the language, but you see Scarface with the cocaine or something like that. You ain't never had it before, but the thought of it, brothers, talk about how many threesomes they had, massages they doing, and all of this other stuff. If you have done it, then it's a lust of your flesh. If you have not, but it's something that's dying, it's the lust of your eyes. Everybody follow me.
Oh God.
If you can gain control over these things, there's only one thing then that you have to deal with. It's right here. It's called the pride of life. Your pride is the only thing that can stop you. If you can control yours, if you can look at that woman and say, okay, she is beautiful, but I will never deal with her because she belongs to my brother. But I would never deal with her because she is not one of my father's tribes. I would never deal with her because she is not a woman that would make a good wife or a good mother. When you start thinking like that and you can overcome them desires that you have, when you say, okay, yeah, I love to do this particular thing, but it's against the Lord, so I'll never do it again. You're almost there. Then the only thing you got to deal with is your pride, right? Y'all with me?
Oh God.
These are the things that the only way that Satan can deal with you once you come into the truth. All right, so let's get some on real quick. Give me Isaiah 13:1. I don't know if everybody gonna get this one. It's real simple, but people tend to make things hard so they can pretend like they can't do it. When we commanded by the Most High to be ye perfect, as the Most High your power is perfect, right? When they talk about being perfect, people often think about, like, what can I come up with as an excuse for why I can't deal with it? Now, this thing is broke down so easy. Christ came and broke it down. He said the thing, all that's in the world is the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life. And these things are not of the Father. Go ahead. Whoever says Salaki.
Okay. It's Isaiah chapter 13, verse 1.
Verse 11.
Also, verse 11. And I will punish the world for their evil.
What world is he talking about? He's talking about everybody on the planet. Salaki, I'm gonna let you read the whole thing and we'll break it down. Go ahead.
And the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness terrible.
This is what's happening in the earth right now. All right. This is why we go out and we do things like woe unto the pastors that scatter my flock. While we go out and we preach against the Christian church, which everybody loves so much. You better not say nothing wrong about the pastor. You better not talk about the man of God like that. How could we say anything about this man if he was doing the will of the Most High according to the Bible and the scriptures? You can't. All that could be written about you if you keeping the law, statutes, and commandments and doing everything the Lord say is that Job was a just man, perfect. Noah was a perfect man in all his generations. Christ had no sin on him. These are what great men that the Bible talks about that we trying to be like, right? But the Lord is saying, I'm going to punish the world for their evil. What world is he talking about? Go ahead.
The world outside of the law, statutes, and commandments.
He's talking about the same world that the Lord loved. Go get it. Here you go. I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. That's the key right there. Iniquity. Somebody tell me what's iniquity. Go ahead.
Evil.
What's evil?
Sin, which is transgression of the law.
Sin, which is a transgression of the law. That's how you know what it's talking about when it says I'm gonna punish the world for their evil and for their iniquity, right? Because can't nobody else sin. Precept. It's an easy one.
Right.
Go ahead.
You only have unknown, but you only have unknown of all the families of the earth. Therefore, I shall punish you for your iniquity.
That's Amos chapter 3. I was looking for another one though. Somebody else give me one that we use a lot.
Right.
Go ahead.
Be sure to gird on the Jacob.
You know where it's at?
I think that's Psalm 119.
Psalm 1.
If I'm not mistaken.
Is that Psalms 119? No, it's Psalms 147. Psalms 147, 19 and 20. He showeth his words unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any other nation. So this is what he's talking about in Isaiah 13. I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogance of the proud to cease. Right? This is talking about the pride of life. Those people who get to a point where they don't feel that they need the Most High because everything that's going good in their life, they doing it. They doing it. I made this happen. I remember I was in a rap group. One of my boys, and he was a little off or whatever. I remember he was like, "Yo, we ever get a Grammy? First thing I'm gonna say is, I just want to thank God and my mama, neither of which who had anything to do with me getting here today." Because you know everybody get up there, the nigga that sung songs about popping mollies, having threesomes, shooting niggas, selling dope, and then when they win their Grammy for it, they say, "Well, I want to thank God." But anyways, you have people who are proud and they refuse to listen to the word of the Most High because they, how can I say it? Their particular view or what they think is more important in them than what the Most High think. It happens a lot with sisters too. And that's why it's kind of crazy as we go into this next one. You know what I'm saying? A sister will know what the Lord says about Christmas. and still want to do it. We gonna do it because for the kids. A sister will know that the Lord said man can have more than one wife and still be like, nah, I don't care. I don't want to deal with it. Right? A brother will know that he need to be in this truth and it ain't no other place to go. But because he loves something else, he's too proud to come in here and to humble himself. You know how many brothers I know that watch ISUPK videos that learn from them, but they want to teach themselves and they don't want to come in here and do what y'all brothers is doing. They don't want to put on all black. They don't want to say sir, yes, sir, or khan out of one khan in the Hebrew. They don't want to humble themselves enough. I tell people this all the time. Back in the world, because of my age and in the world, age is a marker. Captain Katazai was like my little cousin. Captain Katazai is a mighty man in this truth. Don't faze me none to say khan out of one khan, sir. Because I understand that the Lord has rank and order and he puts men in certain places. Right? You got to drop your pride out. I think it was General Muhammad was saying, I forgot what it was, the Black Panthers. He was like, his dad said, the Black Panthers had the type of masculinity and all of this other stuff back in the day, but he was like, I just can't be under no other man. I just can't. There's plenty of people like that. That's why they asked the question of why we say under commanding General Yohana. Like, who is commanding General Yohana? When commanding General Yohana is one of the most humble men I have met. Well, remember what Christ said. Anybody know the precept I'm looking for? He that how it goes, he that lifted himself up shall be brought down, and he that man.
Yes, sir. He that exalted himself.
There you go. He that exalted himself. You know where that's at up?
I can find it, sir.
Oh man. Yeah, I got it. I got it, Doc. It's Luke. It's Luke 14 and 11. We're gonna go there next. We're gonna go there next. All right. Let's go ahead and finish where we at though. Isaiah 13 and 11, it says, I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. Just know that the Most High is going to bring down those proud. He don't deal with proud people, right? And will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. Nah, back to them sisters that I was talking about that know that the Lord said you can have more than one wife. Read verse 12. Whoever was reading this. Damn, the brother done fell out the truth. Go ahead, Doc.
Isaiah chapter 13, verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir.
I will make a man more precious than fine gold. How does a man become more precious than fine gold? How does a man become worth more than his weight in gold? It's by learning how to deal with the lust of the flesh and to beat it. Learning how to deal with the lust of the eyes and to defeat it. Learning how to deal with the pride of life and to humble himself and to follow these laws, statutes, and commandments. Everybody understand that, right? Go ahead and give me that loop. Give me that loop. Give me the loop that I just pulled. Go ahead.
Chapter 14, verse 11. For whosoever exalteth himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted.
You see that? If you want to puff yourself up to be the man, who put this together? Me. That's who. You're going to go out just like him. You're going to go out just like him. And you want to be like Scarface, go ahead. See, what you got to understand is everything that we've been taught by these other nations, right, that they put out for us. Everybody want to be John Gotti, Scarface. What's the dude with the Valentine's Day Massacre? Capone, Al Capone, Lucky Luciano. Y'all realize all of these was devils, right? Goodfellas, all of these was devils out. These other nations and their way of living is not how the Lord wanted us to live. And the only reason we're doing that is the lust of the eyes, which we seen it. We seen it. We ain't never had no life like that. Or we got a little taste of it. The lust of the flesh. Or we want to be as proud as they was. Nobody ain't going to stop me from doing what I want to do. Right? But you got to understand that the Lord put these nations here to test us. And you learning how to beat that and fight that lust and beat that old man that you used to be that wanted to be like all the people that I named. And then you need to put those away and want to be like the great men of Israel. Want to be like Noah, who when the Lord destroyed the whole earth, he thought enough of him to save him. Want to be like King David, who the Lord had to destroy all the nations that got in his way. Want to be like Moses, who followed the Lord, and the Lord swallowed up the whole Egyptian army to save his people. Nobody want to be like them, huh? Give me Judges chapter 2, verse 19. I know why. We want to be like the white man. This is fighting that old man. You learn how to beat this, you will be successful. You will rise up in the ranks. You will have men under you. You will have as many women as God allows you to have. You will have children. You will be a father of many nations. Different things that the Lord told all these men is because they did what he said to do, not because they did what they wanted to do. Big difference. Whoever got the scripture, let's get it. We're running out of time.
Judges chapter 2, verse 19. And it came to pass, when the judge was dead, that they returned and corrupted themselves more than their fathers, and following other gods to serve them and to bow down unto them. They ceased not from their own doing, nor from their stubborn way.
Keep going.
And the anger. Sorry, so you want to keep going?
Keep going.
And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel. And he said, because that this people have transgressed my covenant, which I commanded their fathers, and have not hearkened unto my voice, I also will not henceforth drive out any from before them of the nations which Joshua left when he died.
All right, stop right there for a second. So what's going on is once Joshua died, then we had judges that was put in place, right? And these judges made sure to carry out this. It's no different than this was, they made sure it was like it wasn't one leader, it was the judges. All right. So during that time, Israel fell off again, right? Just like the Lord told Moses we would. So it said it came to pass when the judge was dead that they returned and corrupted themselves more than their fathers. We did even worse than the people who made the golden calf, the people who wanted to go back to Egypt. Did it worse to that and following the other gods and serving them. We do it a whole class, and I might do that class up here soon, how smoking weed is idol worship. Anything that we lit on fire, the smoke from it was either like incense or a sacrifice to our God, or it was a burning incense to the other gods and the queen of heaven and different things like that. Well, we went back to doing that and bowing down to them, and cease not from their own doing, nor from their stubborn way. If you read this Bible, you will learn that blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the most stubborn and stiff-necked people in the world. The Lord then saved you out of Egypt, and saved you out of Babylon, then got you out of Syrian captivity, then brought and sent his only son to give you and lead you and show you the way. And still to this day, we rather have Christmas than the Lord's blessing and rulership. We rather have, whatever it is that we desire, our lust. We rather have a seat in the white man's kingdom than to have a seat in the kingdom of the Most High. Well, it was the same way back then, right? And the anger of the Lord was hot against Israel. This is the hell that they're talking about when they say you going to hell and we say you already there. That's the anger of the Lord being hot against Israel, because this people done transgressed my covenant. The covenant was, if you do what I say, I'm gonna bless you. They went against it all, and he told us what was gonna happen. Remember, it said it, which I commanded their fathers. They have not hearkened to my voice. Now, when Joshua took over, when Moses died, they went into the land that flowed with milk and honey that the Lord promised that the children of Israel would get. If you read in Deuteronomy 7:1, it says all these different nations that he was moving out of the way so Israel can come in and take the land. But they done pissed the Lord off to the point where he's saying, now I will not henceforth drive out any nations before them like I did before Joshua, or when Joshua was at it. Everybody follow me. Read verse 22.
That through them I may prove Israel.
Stop right there. That through them I may prove Israel. Who is the them? Go ahead. The other nations. That through the other nations I may prove Israel. What is he trying to prove? Keep reading.
Whether they will keep the way of the Lord to walk therein, as their fathers did keep it, or not.
See, we pleased the Lord by doing what he said to do when he said put the blood on the doorpost. This was before we had the laws, and we separated ourselves from the Egyptians, and the Lord saved us out of that. When we was in the wilderness, once the Lord killed all those people that was making the golden calves and different things like that, we got it to a point where we got it together, and the Lord put us into the land. So for a time, we was doing what the Lord said. As soon as Joshua died, we had the judges, and then we started something new. Then now we go back to the same thing. So now the Lord said, I'm not going to move. I'm going to put these nations around Israel, and they're going to prove to me whether or not Israel is going to walk in my statutes and my commandments, or like their fathers did, or they're going to do what the other nations doing. They're going to serve the gods of the other nations. Just a question. Who are you going to serve now? Are you going to serve the Most High power of Israel, or are you going to serve the gods of the other nations? Now, think about it like this. In Egypt, you got over 100 different gods or idols, right? And you have no law. So who are you really serving if you're serving the other gods? Go ahead. You're serving yourself. Absolutely. If this God says that you can do this, for instance, if you want to go and join the Israelite group that say it's okay to smoke weed, then you serving yourself. If you want to go and join an Israelite group that say everybody can be saved because that's what you feel, you serving yourself. At the end of the day, if you're not serving the Most High, you're serving yourself. That's the only reason somebody else would go against the most high power, is because their lust, their desire, their flesh, their eyes have seen something that they want to the point where they cannot serve the Lord. You love the weed, the coke, the pills, the hoes, your wife, your mama, your kids. You love all of that more than you love the Most High. And because you love it, you rather serve that than to serve the Lord. Now, where did we get behavior like this from? Because that ain't what the men in the Bible did. And when they did, they got punished for it. Go ahead to verse 23.
Therefore, the Lord left those nations without driving them out hastily. Neither delivered he them into the hand of Joshua.
So, in order for the children of Israel to have to prove themselves, he left the nations around. And I might have got the time frame wrong. This might have been, still while Joshua was there, meaning he didn't deliver them out of the hands of Joshua. So they still had to deal with them. And guess what? Those people who did not want to serve the Lord, they served the gods of the other nations. They went back to doing everything that was wrong, everything that the Lord said. Right? All right, give me Matthew chapter 6, verse 25. Let's bring it all together. In battling yourself, one thing you have to understand, if y'all from the hood like I am, like most of us are, everybody ain't from the hood. If you ain't, you ain't got to act like it. But here's the point. In that world, where we come from, there's something that controls you more than anything else. And it's about you serving yourself, but you don't get it. It's a word called survival. It's a word called survival, where you want something you've seen. This brother got J's, you want J's. This brother got 26s, you want 26s. This brother got different women, you want different women. And you think that you need all of that to survive, right? But you don't understand that really what you needed to be doing was getting away from that world and trying to find the world that the Lord wanted us in. All of the materialistic possessions and all of that is from the capitalist society that we was raised in America, which belongs to another nation. We ain't that type of people. You're trying to be somebody you're not. This is what this means right here. You ain't got to worry about surviving if you're doing the right thing. If you're not trying to fulfill the lust that you got in your flesh to try to buy something you don't need, the lust of something that you done seen on TV, on the videos, that you done seen in your favorite movie, whatever it is, if it ain't about your pride, then what is it really about? This we're talking specifically about survival. Let's get it. Whoever got it. Nobody got it?
Verse 25. Therefore, I say unto you, take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on. It is not the life more than meat, and the body than raiment.
Let's stop right there for a minute. When he say take no thought for your life, to a person that's in the world, that sound crazy. What in the world? Salaki. I've been cut off from the class, but we was gonna go ahead and break down Matthew chapter 6, and he said, you know, take no thought for your life. We got technical difficulties, so I'm not gonna be able to finish that breakdown this particular time. Anybody need it, you can definitely give me a call. It's 904-455-183, 904-455-183, or you can call Officer Shawar Yala at the Florida School. The number is on every single video we have. For everybody that's online, Shalom Israel. We'll get back with you at some point, and we'll be back here next Sunday. You can call in to the same number. The number for the class, the classes are 305-985-5453. The number for the class is 305-985-5453. All right. We'll be back next week. Israelite 101. Salaki for the technical difficulties. Shalom.